What is happening, guys? Happy Monday. Big Monday. If you guys are people who have been holding Moderna, you had a very, very nice morning to wake up to, right? Around 10:30 this morning, we were up about 25%. There was very, very good news that was released. There was a conference call this morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, there was a lot of good news there that came out. So they're seeing positive results. They're being able to kind of move forward with everything that they've been working on, and they're making a good pace going. So a lot of big positive catalyst, right? So we could see Moderna being very, very bullish. So this is definitely a hot stock. Everybody's talking about this right now. Again, it's the company that they make the vaccine for COVID-19, if you guys are unfamiliar. So they have a lot going on. There's a lot of eyes on them. And this stock has been just going crazy. So if you guys are ready, let's jump in and break it down. All right, so looking at Moderna's 180-day chart, right, we could see that they had a big spike. Today they're up 24%. So a lot of people are asking, what's going on? Why did this happen? Well, apparently they had some news about their vaccine results that they've been experimenting with in phase 1. And apparently they had some good news. So they had... they saw that there were antibodies levels rising with this in a timely manner. There was also full protection against any viral replication in the lungs in a mouse model that they did. So they have a lot of good news coming up. They're working towards future goals that they have as well. There was a conference call this morning at 8:30 Eastern Time, and obviously that went good. So we're seeing this big push. So Moderna's definitely been bullish, but obviously we just had a nice push today. I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on this on the intraday chart. So if we break this down here, so we can see we had highs of $94, and we pulled back a bit, and as the market opened, we're starting this nice trend here, right? So we're getting these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So right now it seems to be consolidating a little bit. And that's kind of understandable because we can see, again, at the 180-day chart that we are very overbought right now, right? So on the 180-day chart, we are overbought. So if you are thinking about taking a position in Moderna, I would definitely advise you to wait a little bit and see what it does. We can expect that there might be a little bit of a pullback, but at the same time, it is extremely bullish, right? So we had this huge jump in pre-market, and we're still up 25% on the day. We have this nice look. We just got another push right here. So we're approaching these new highs. And it looks like we actually got higher highs here. Let's see, what were we at here? We were at 83.89, 83.95. So we are getting higher highs. So we're seeing, again, this is a continuing trend. And remember, we want to do our part as traders to manage our risk, right? So we want to identify these trends and ride these trends while managing our risk. So again, we can see that we have some good news coming. Again, looking at the 180-day chart, one of the things that we do want to pay attention is we have a lot to give back, right? If something goes wrong, there's a huge potential for loss. So this is why it's, again, important to manage our risk. We can see that we're pushing further and further away from this SMA line, all right, which is showing us, like, overall, this is a very bullish pattern. But just be aware. Remember, there was that other company, Gilead, that their results ended up not getting positive results, and it ended up, their stock tanked. So you don't want to get caught in something like that. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. It's just nothing is guaranteed, right? So we have to do our part at keeping an eye on our investments and managing our risk and locking in profits when need be and keeping an eye on our position size. So again, do your due diligence to make sure that you protect the money that you work so hard for, that you invest in, right? I mean, we all want to make money, but we have to make sure that we do our part at managing that risk. So I'm going to go back to the intraday chart, right? So again, we broke these higher highs. We're bouncing a little bit. So it's consolidating right now, and we could see that we're kind of getting this. If we draw a line here, right? Let me get that 0. There we go. So we draw a line here, and then we start here, right? And we got this bullish flag forming, right? So we're getting these higher highs and these higher lows. And our highs kind of leveled off a little bit. We're consolidating. But we're still getting these higher lows. So we have this flag going, a bullish flag. So we can expect that if we see, this break above this resistance point here, especially if we could get above this SMA, then we're going to continue this bullish trend. And again, do your part to recognize these trends. If you're going to day trade on this, be very careful because again, it is overbought. So there might be a little bit of a pullback. So do your part at watching this, locking in your profits when it's necessary, and pay attention to the trend, because on the intraday, if Moderna starts to pull off or pull back on the 180 day, well, intraday you're going to see these lower highs and lower lows. So it'll be the opposite of that. So make sure that if you see that change in direction, that you don't keep throwing money at this and chasing it, right? Make sure that, maybe you sell off and decrease your position size, right? And you could always buy in when it finds a new support. So if this starts to change direction, sell the majority of your position size so that as it comes down here, you know what I mean? If it identifies another support level down here around 75.60, that you could buy back in if you get confirmation that it's starting to go back up. And by doing that, you now have 8.5% margin to play with there, or 9.5%. So, pay attention to that. Make sure that, I wouldn't buy in just yet until we see either we break above this, or as I said, if we start to pull back and we identify a new support, and we want to make sure that support level, that support level is above this one, right? Because if we drop below this, and we're starting to see signs of a reversal now, right? So we don't want to keep money invested in something that is now trending downward. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Here, I'm going to set some alerts actually. So we'll see if we break above this and get some higher highs. And I'll see if we break. Oh, look at that big pullback. Here, I'll set an alert here. If we get below, and I'll set another one down here and see if we get at or below. Okay. All right. So again, yeah, we're watching this consolidate. Again, very good positive catalyst in the news. There's a bunch of articles out right now. I was actually just reading one that was on it was on Moderna's public site. It was released earlier this morning at about 7:30. So you could definitely get on Google and do some reading. But again, this is definitely a good stock to keep an eye on. Very bullish trend. Again, we have good positive news. We just want to make sure that we continue to see that positive news, and if negative news comes out, that we are ready. Oh, excuse me. that we are ready as investors to manage that risk, right? Keep our position size small if it starts going out of our favor. Again, it's overbought, so a pullback could happen. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a reversal. So again, just wait for confirmation. Pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you're buying in at a good value. So what do I mean by buying in at a good value? Okay, if this starts to pull back and we identify a support level, right? Say we match the same support level. So here, I'll draw another line. So let's say we pull back and we start to identify the support and we start getting confirmation of an uptrend again, right? All right, well, we want to buy close to this line. So like maybe we'll buy here, right? And then this will give us about 5% margin almost for profit, and then we'd have 1% margin for loss. That's what I mean by getting it at a good deal, right? You don't want to buy it like when it's closer to this line where your potential for loss is 5% and your potential for gain is 1%. That's just not a wise investment, right? So we don't want to do that. So again, make sure that you're buying this at a good deal. See, it looks like we're trying to identify the support here now. So we just keep an eye on this and watch and see what it does. I will continue to follow up on Moderna. I'm going to end this video here. We're going to see what it does the rest of the day. It's still early. It's not even 11 o'clock yet Eastern time. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this, and I will follow up on this. And if you guys, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely help support me and make it easier for me to continue to make these videos for you guys. With that, I hope you guys all end it in the green note, and I will catch you later.